You have probably seen so many videos online where people discuss how sports cars are cool and how they're fun to drive. Just like this 2026 Toyota Supra Final Edition manual. And almost nobody actually teaches people how to drive these cars properly or talk about the things you really need to know if you plan to own or drive one of these sports cars. And in this video, I'm going to show what nobody tells you about driving a sports car. And without wasting your time, let's get going. And the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that these sports cars actually feel slower than they actually are. And what I mean by that is that I'm going 60 kilometers per hour right now, but it feels to me like I'm going 40. And of course, it's going to depend on which sports car you're driving. Because if we talk about the Mazda MX-5 Miata or the Toyota GR86/Supra BRZ, they are actually engineered to feel faster than they actually are. Meaning that if you go 30, you actually feel like you're going 50. And if you go 50 kilometers per hour, you will actually feel like you're going 70 or even 80. And that's due to several factors. The first one would be the lower sitting position. As we all know, all sports cars are sitting very low. And secondly, those cars give you as much feedback as possible when it comes to sound of the engine and when it comes to interacting with your gearbox. And those things working together make you feel like you're actually going faster. But in the case of this 2026 Toyota Supra, it's actually the opposite. We are driving at about 100 kilometers per hour. But it doesn't feel like I'm going that fast. It is on purpose by the engineers of this vehicle. And by the way, I'll reveal a little secret to you. This car was built by a BMW, and those cars, especially the ones that are engineered by Germans, were made to go on autobahns. And as you all know, autobahns have no speed limits, meaning that those engineers don't want you to feel like you're going actually fast, so that you feel more comfortable driving on those autobahns. And the way they are hiding the speed perception from you is due to the fact that they are isolating you from lots of feedback. For example, even though this B58 engine has a very great sound, you don't hear it as well. And the manual transmission experience has also been made for comfort. So it's not as sporty and not as communicative. And at the same time, the suspension settings are much more sophisticated. You feel much more stable when you're going high speeds, and that's by design. You have less lateral movements when you go into the corner, so basically, this car gives you much more confidence when you're going at a higher speed. And this could be a really great advantage if you live near autobahns. But if you are like me and live in Canada, US, or Europe, except Germany, I feel like it's a downside instead, because this car is so quick and it is so hard to perceive how fast you're going. Every time you check the speedometer, you're going faster than you need to. And that is why it is hard to enjoy this car in the city, because you have to be reckless to actually feel the limits of this car. Here's another corner we can enjoy. It's so confident. So as I was saying, it is very easy to go fast in this car. It is hard to enjoy this car legally on public roads. Essentially, it means that you have to go to a track to actually experience this car to a full extent. So comparing this to an MX-5 Miata or to a GR86, in those cars, it is so much easier to explore the full potential of those cars when it comes to performance. And for those cars like this Toyota Supra, you'll probably only enjoy 40%, maybe 50% of what this car can actually offer. And that is one of the things that nobody tells you about driving one of these cars. All right, let's get to the second point. And that is, you need to change how you think about driving dramatically. Your driving position is very different from a normal car. So of course, when you have a lower driving position, you have less visibility. And that means you have to be scanning way ahead than you would in a normal car. So for example, I cannot see over some of the cars that are in front of me, especially if it's a truck. Secondly, I have to be careful with all of the bumps, potholes, any debris lying on the ground. I have to be scanning for those constantly, especially considering the fact that this car is very expensive. You don't want to damage it. Every time you are entering a driveway or exiting a driveway, you have to be very careful to not damage your front lip. Parking becomes more challenging as well. So all of these things makes your drive more challenging. And I think no one tells you about these things as well. But this could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on which person you are. For example, for me, I think it's an upside because I'm more focused on driving. I'm more attentive and I feel like I'm more engaged. And that means I'll be probably better off reacting to anything happening on the road, since again, my attention is fully here. And I think it's a great segue to the point number 3, which is blind spots are real, especially in this Toyota Supra. As you can see right now, all of the windows in this car are so small, even the windshield. The back window is tiny. Look at the small amount of glass in this cabin. Obviously, it makes it so much harder to see out of, and it is creating lots of problems when you are merging onto a highway, when you are changing any lane, when you're parking. There's always some blind spot. I have only been driving this car for a couple of days, and there's been a number of occasions where I didn't see the car in my blind spot on the right or on the left. And if you are not ready to deal with it, again, this is one of the things you really need to know about. Awesome, so we are ready for the next point, which is modern sports cars, especially manual ones, are not as hard to drive as you think. So obviously, you have to know how to drive a manual, how to go from first to second, from second to third, and you have to know the timings. If you know all of this, and if you have ever driven any manual car before, you'll be able to drive this car with no issue. Most modern sports cars have auto rev match functionality. And let me show you what I mean. So this car, by default, has this feature on. So right now we are in fourth, and if I want to go into third gear, I just do this, and it rev matched for me. I didn't even need to blip the gas pedal. So it is very easy to drive this car spiritedly, even if you don't have experience rev matching yourself. And you can turn off this feature. So when I'm going to downshift right now, I'm going to do it myself, and it is much more fun. Let's go again from fourth to third. It is fun to nail it every time. For example, this manual Supra again was made by BMW, and modern BMW transmissions, manual transmissions, are very easy to drive. They're super comfortable, the clutch pedal is super light, you can drive it just the same as you would drive any normal manual car. So you don't have to worry about this. And the reason this is the case is due to the fact that all manufacturers know that they want to widen their audience. They want to make more money, right, from selling these cars. A simple way to do it is to make manual driving experience easy and and comfortable for most people. Guys, this car is a beast, I'm telling you. And the manual transmission makes it so fun to go into any corner by downshifting, even in these neighborhoods, without going too fast. Isn't that what fun driving is all about? Doing things like this because you know this car is capable of taking this corner at this speed. Such a joy. So let's discuss the next point, which is sports cars can be very fatiguing. This car is super stiff, and of course it's stiff, it's a sports car. To handle well, it needs to be very stiff. And again, the fatigue level is going to be dependent on the car you're driving. Obviously, if you drive a 911, it's going to be super comfortable to drive because it's a do-everything sports car. But if you want to buy a more focused sports car, like this manual Supra, it's going to be very, very bumpy. And also the road noise and the tire noise is going to be more noticeable and probably above average levels. I feel like this is not what people talk about when they discuss sports cars. I'm telling you guys, this car is proper quick. That was harsh. However, honestly, this Supra lived up to its hype. It is so fun to drive this car. It's been such a joy to play with this manual transmission, with this engine. You know, this car handles so well, as you have probably seen throughout this video. And as a driving enthusiast, I cannot not praise this car. It's brilliant. It's just so cool. It's so fast. It sounds great. It handles awesomely, as we'll show here as well. One thing that those people online tell you about, which is the actual truth, that these cars are brilliant to drive. And I hope every single one of you watching this video will have a chance to drive a car like this. It is honestly quite sad that this is the last Supra for this generation. It's such a great experience. There's so much aftermarket support for one of these. They're quite reliable from what I've heard of, and it is just so frustrating to lose another manual option on the car market. And as always, stay safe out there, keep enjoying the drive, and I'll see you in the next one.